What is going on, World Division fans? This is your global original, Nashtaters. We're coming back live. We're going to be doing a stream tonight and discussing a topic that I actually wanted to discuss in one of my Friday Free Thinking episodes. You know, that whole series. But I think moving forward in the future, it makes more sense to perhaps do a lot of these live. And I know some viewers already told me they're not a huge fan of me doing a live, but at the same time, it's like I'm trying to condense a lot of the work I'm doing for YouTube into a few days, right? Because I'm essentially going part-time because I want to do this as a hobby rather than as a job per se. How's it going, Jerry? How you doing tonight? So I think it's important for me to make sure I put passion into what I do rather than trying to just pump out numbers. I think it's still a little tough right now because this game it's getting to be to the point where I feel like you have to kind of sort of keep up if you want to participate in PvP aspects, right? And I think that's going to be hard to do for me in the future because I don't think I want to spend more money on this game until I feel like maybe this is something I want to play, you know, long term. Like, I love the game, don't get me wrong, but lately I'm just having trouble logging in and staying motivated to continuously grind away. And given the fact that the emulators are very, very unforgiving in terms of the crashes, it makes the gaming experience a bit less enjoyable. But nevertheless, let's discuss the topic at hand, and that is going to be, are premium units doable for free-to-play players, right? So I'm going to show you real quick, since this is a Friday free thinking topic, I'm going to show you, this is my current farming list for the heart nodes. It doesn't mean I'm working on all of them. It just means I'm trying to farm their shards, right? So as you can see right off the bat, I have 3 premium units right off the bat. And as you can see, none of them are high level. And let's see, Mont is, I feel like skip tickets, how you doing, Ryan, by the way? I feel like skip tickets for equip quests would really help. Yes. Like here, okay, let me clarify something, okay? Right now on my gorgeous iPhone 5 that I found is the phone that I started playing mobile games, okay? This was years ago, obviously, because we're now up to what, 13 and coming up September. So I'm going to trade in my, not trade in, but I'm going to be upgrading from my iPhone 7 to iPhone 13. And I believe I used to do an odd number. So I'll do 5, 7, and I was going to do 9, but obviously I skipped 9, I skipped 11, and now I'm finally upgrading to a brand new phone, the 13. Here's the thing. I was playing this game, Summoner's War, and actually 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, I wanted to do my Friday Free Thinking episode about the fact that you need patience. I did do that video, but I really wanted to show you the community of War Divisions, of how the community for something like Summoner's Wars is comparable, because that game has a lot of players, like millions of players, and is essentially a Pokemon clone, but with a little bit more hardcore combat system, right? And the game has evolved to essentially like, hey Koi, how you doing? Good evening, buddy. The game essentially has evolved to like esporting, which a lot of people think is ridiculous, and I'm on that bandwagon. I think it's kind of ridiculous that it's esport. It's just simply not as good as some of the other games. Like, I'm a huge Street Fighter guy. I'm a huge fighting game fan, and last year when I started doing YouTube videos for War of Divisions, they did a Street Fighter 5 collaboration with Summoner's War, and I kind of regret not going back, as recently I jumped back playing Summoner's War. And essentially all I'm doing while I'm playing War of Divisions or watching shows or watching YouTube or whatever is I just have Summoner's War running on my iPhone 5, which is crazy because it still works fine. Like, there's no lag, surprisingly, and the phone doesn't heat up at all. But when I play on my iPhone 7 Summoner's War, the phone heats up crazy. Like, I don't even play on my iPhone 7. Like, War of the Divisions doesn't heat up that bad, but it's weird how Summoner's War, which is such an old game and it's not very graphic intensive, it's like burning up my phone. I'm kidding you not. Like, my phone is like on fire. Like, I can probably like burn somebody with it. So anyways, the whole point is that game is, for me, it was complete free to play. And I would actually like to do a show and tell on that game one day, maybe one day, just to kind of like do a little correlation between what I feel about free to play and how War of the Divisions is free to play friendly, even though there's a lot of people who think otherwise. But I think in general, my point was in that Friday Free Think episode is that we need patience. And again, I wish I had proof to show you, which I may do that actually on my Summoner's War account later, maybe next week. Or actually not next week, because next week I'm going to a wedding, by the way. So it's going to be a very condensed week next week. I will be going to a wedding for a friend of mine who I've known for well over 20 years, and he's finally getting married. And I need to get a haircut. As you can see, I'm sporting this K-pop hairdo part 2, right? I had my haircut a little while ago, but I've been delaying it because I wanted to make sure I get a decent cut before I go to the wedding. So anyway, so the key is stay patient, stay vigilant. And I think the discussion today is premium, like, our premium units part of that discussion. And as you can see right now, the EX essentially makes this game a little bit more difficult in terms of PvP. And I think before I decided to go to part-time, I had this whole outline of what I wanted to cover in terms of War of Divisions and how to approach it, right? For example, there's 2 types of gaming in this game, right? There's PvP and there's PvE. And there's not necessarily a correlation between the two, because yes, you can join a guild and they probably want you to participate in guild wars. But if you're in the lower ranking guild war battles or, you know, whatever, you don't even need high units, because most of the enemy teams you're fighting don't even have defenses set up. You know, it's like, I'll show you real quick. Let me just go to I'm currently on my free-to-play account, by the way. I'm going to shift over to my main account in a little bit here. But I just wanted to showcase what my free-to-play account looks like based on my premium units builds. Okay, so obviously we're in this guild war. Like, a lot of these defenses are very, very like slow progression. I don't want to use the word weak because that's mean, right? For example, this team is a rank 66. You can kind of just tell by the total physical attack power and the total magical power. You know, these folks don't have a lot of. I think we can look at their vision card. Look, this guy. Sorry, Callus. I'm not trying to put you down or anything. I'm just using you as an example because you're probably a beginning player, right? So I just want to show you the community that, you know, beginning players are going to be struggling to get equipment, right? That's the key number 1 is getting the right equipment. So you can see this team is fairly easy to defeat if you've been playing this game for over a year, right? This player has probably only played for a little bit, perhaps not playing as much. Maybe this is even an alternate account or whatever it is, okay? And that's the whole point, right? When you're in these gold, like, ranking or lower, chances are you're probably gonna be fighting like teams like this. They're not even like all the way even leveled up yet, right? Because they're a beginning player or whatever. And so when you're in that boat, PvP isn't really that big of a deal. And in arena, like, honestly, I stopped doing arena completely. Like, I don't do arena at all anymore on my free-to-play account. I only do it on my main account. And even then, sometimes I used to get really upset when I lose, but now I don't even care. Like, if I lose, I lose. It's not even a big deal, you know? But the question remains is, with the EX implementation, is the game less forgiving? It's hard to answer that, because I think it's easier to it's actually not that hard to EX units, right? It's getting up to 120 that's hard. Look, this is a free-to-play account. I have no money invested in this game, just some time. I have 2 units that's maxed, 1 on the way, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Like, it's going to be very hard for me to build my 9S and 2B. These units are going to be very hard to get to 120, because once I start diving into my resources, I'm gonna have nothing by the time I want another unit, perhaps that's coming in the future. In this case, Final Fantasy VII, right? Obviously, I was lucky enough to obtain Mont, even though he's not a limited time unit, so I can build him over time. And by the way, I do want to give a shout out to Ratboy if he's not coming tonight. He stated that it's not a really great idea to spend 50 million a pop to try to get shards for King Mon if you don't have King Mon. I kind of agree with that, because even though we have sitting on pretty with 2 billion gold, it's going to be pretty fast to diminish all of your gold supply if you're going to go all in for this entire week just to get his shards, right? But I think I need to go get his shards, since that's the best way for me to gain shards. So let's keep talking while we do that. So my point is it going to be feasible? And the answer is most likely not. You're probably not going to be building too many premium units. And I think right now the game is going to be giving us Mont, it's going to be giving us Helena. We got Dwayne on Global earlier. And on JP, those 3 came, you know, literally back to back, right? That's 3 in a 3-peat. It was literally 3-peating. And the players got really upset. And I kind of stand by the player side on this one, because I know what the company is doing. I think the company is just trying to figure out ways to capitalize on this brand. They're trying to get people to spend more and more in order to stay competitive. And unfortunately, that is a poor way to approach the game. And again, I hate to use the example of Summoners Wars, because the community of Summoners Wars are not a huge fan of Summoners Wars. It's kind of weird. Like it's like this paradox forming here, right? It's kind of like the people who play the game that I'm using the analogy to compare to another game also are complaining of similar issues. By the way, that game is so bad in summoning raids, is ridiculous. Like comparatively to War Division, Summoners War is, man, it's so below the standards of current market gacha games. Like we are dealing with pity systems, right? That's kind of like the norm nowadays. That game still has no pity system, and you still have to summon 1 unit at a time. It's ridiculous. You have to literally go to rare summons and click on single summons for every single summons. That's they need to implement the 10x summon easily. But let me buy the shards and then we'll keep discussing. So here's the thing, right? It takes 100 Vizors to purchase 1 shard of a premium unit. We discussed this many times over. At least I did the calculation. It's about 13,000 Vizors per month given to us for free, without extracurricular things like the special celebration stuff, right? 13,000. So that means in 1 year you should have accumulated something around 150,000 Vizors. And then of course you add up all the Vizors that you gain from, say, when you're clearing chapters, or when you're reaching a milestone in your logins. By the way, we did get 400 day free Vizors 2000. I think I was saying something about that, and someone was actually complaining right on the day that it was supposed to be done, and then I logged in because my account is 2 days behind the actual release, right? I created my main account 2 days after the initial release of the game. So my game is exactly 398 days when 400 days occurred. I didn't get anything, and then of course on the 400 day, I mean, I didn't know I was going to get something until my account hit 400 day and I got the 2000 gems. So, you know, like all in a nutshell, it's kind of like if you saved up 100,000 and you're like building all these units in the game, I guarantee you cannot build a premium unit. Let's go to chat just for a little bit here. I think I only did one whole step. I think premium units are doable, but you would need to skip banners. For like I skipped unit. Yep. I think Ryan makes a great point. That's what I was alluding to. They won't change a thing in Summoners War if they're banking. Only way to change the game is they struggle money. What up, Quack? How you doing? Thank you, David. By the way, David, you should see my account, because for me, I feel like I have this like rash. I shaved today. Like I have this like itchy neck, but my account looks pretty solid. I make poor decisions on my runes on my Summoners War. So I try not to make the same mistake when I'm playing War of the Visions, right? You want to make sure you You get honed in on the equipment that you're building instead of just dumping your resources on whatever equipment the game decides to give you. And I think if I was to start this game all over, or if I was to re-roll today, there are many units in War of the Divisions I would never want to build. But the problem is the game wants to push, like it's doing this hard push to get players to do certain things in order to be successful at certain things. I think the companies need to reevaluate for year 2, because I think they're taking a step in the wrong direction. Like, the thing about Summoners Wars is it's long living because there's a huge player base that still supports the old system. So they're never going to go away. I agree with that. But War of the Divisions has entered the gacha market during a peak of changes that they needed to do to reform the entire genre of gacha games. Gacha games is a very, very duplicitous, very deceiving, very conniving, evil system. And I'm gonna say this because it's essentially gambling. And people who have addiction issues with gambling are the ones gonna suffer the most, especially if they love the IP. And I feel like it's a malicious way to try to gain money from people. Because I've heard horror stories growing up as a kid that, you know, people gamble away their wives, their houses. And by the way, why would anybody gamble their wife away? That's silly. I know that's silly, but I'm sure people have gambled their bank account away, right? People have gambled things away. So point is, human beings are not going to be responsible for themselves if they have some sort of issues in terms of maybe, you know, psychological issues or addiction issues. By the way, that's a real issue. Addiction is a real thing, right? So I never enjoy the gacha system because it's just a terrible system. But this is why War of the Divisions for me was different, because you can gain shards of units different ways, you know, and you can play it in a very successful manner. One of the biggest examples would be Nerd Game, right? Nerd Knight, Chris. He's a very successful free-to-play player, and I have to say myself as well, because this account is free-to-play. I feel like I do pretty well with this account. Lately, I've been kind of like not playing this game as hard, at least on the free-to-play account, because I just don't have the time to grind away both accounts, right? I skip things now, and that's what I'm trying to do. I skip events if I feel like I don't need to do something about it. I skip like farming certain things, and it works for me because it makes sense to me. Time is very valuable to me, and I don't want to just spend it randomly, you know what I mean? From the start, this game calls it royalty. Yeah, I agree. And you know what I hate the most on gacha games is the VIP system. I hate that the most. And this game has it. It's the royalty system. It's essentially a VIP system, right? I hate it. And it's like the game took some really good ideas that has risen from the ashes of other poorly made games from back in the days and implemented it in War of the Divisions, but at the same time decided to stick with some of the really terrible ideas that never got burned away. And honestly, I think most of us just accept it. And I don't think that's necessarily bad per se, but at the same time, everyone's gonna have their lines drawn. Like, perfect example, Quack is in here tonight. He has been playing this game since in his inauguration, and he decided to walk away because he felt like there were certain aspects of the game that were just, you know, very poorly executed. And honestly, now that I've experienced EX, I wish EX never was implemented. I hate it now. I can't stand it, because when you're playing Arena or Guild Wars, you're gonna see people who are way more hardcore than me, way more hardcore than other players, and they're more than willing to put in thousands of dollars or hundreds of man hours to be successful. And at the end of the day, what do you get out of Guild Wars? Nothing. Besides satisfaction of helping your guildies out, there's not much to be gained. Right? Let's be honest. Let's go ahead and evaluate the guild shop. What is it about the mock shop that gives us guild medals that can really separate you from other players? Let's take a look at it real quick. And this is a free-to-play account, so keep this in mind. Yes, Ziza is essentially a must-own Trustmaster. Now you can take her to EX and have her some sort of viability there. there's not much to be gained here, folks. Let's think about this. What is it out of this specific guild shop that truly makes it stand out besides the few things in the top, right? You have 2-3 units that you can just obtain by playing Guild Wars. And by the way, I'm at 6,733 and I'm not even participating high-end Guild Wars, right? Gotcha is evil. It is. And I think they need to start, before I get banned from War of Divisions, I honestly feel like governments from across the countries needs to start regulating. And I think Japan regulates it. I think Japan was the one that made gaming companies implement, or maybe it was the United States. One of those is you have to put the rate. The rate has to be shown in order to be globally released, I believe. This actually happened when Summoners Wars came out. Like, that was around the time where people were not sure about the rates, so the company finally released the rates. And all subsequent games post Summoners Wars or some kind of legislation changes, you have to release the rates. And I think in Japan you have to. I think that's kind of the idea. So yes, David makes a great point. Remember, I emphasize mainly on my channel, time is your most valuable resource. Not money, not gold, not your house, not your water supply. It's time. We are limited to time on this earth, right? Average age of a human being is like 70 plus years old. We only have 70 years on this earth. That may seem like a lot when you're like in your teens, but when you're approaching 30s, 40s, and 50s, those years fly by. Like, I'm an adult. When you start having responsibilities and you're adulting, time flies. Like, if you have children, your kids are growing up so fast. So if we decide to choose to play video games as one of our hobbies, our passions, or whatever, you have to really think to yourself. If you're making good money, spending money on a game to support the game and to kind of support your own habit, it makes sense, right? For example, I spend $60 on a Final Fantasy Tactics video game. I get hundreds of hours of gameplay. I play at my leisure. I don't have to compete against anybody. I had a lot of fun as a college student. It makes physical sense. But nowadays, the mobile gaming world is just, many times, we talk about the terminology, cash grabs, right? Cash grabs is a legitimate thing because people release certain things and grab some cash and boom. There's been companies where they give people the false hope that the company is doing really well, the game is doing really well, and then a few months later it gets shut down and people were still spending thousands and thousands of dollars during the time when they thought the game was doing well, and all of a sudden they shut down. I think there does need to be regulations for mobile gaming and things like that. And I think it's evil in the sense that you guys are touching up in chat that, you know, we are dealing with impulse buyers. Myself, I've been guilty of that. And if I wasn't spending and I'm resorting to playing this account free to play, okay, I realized a few things. Obviously, I've been realizing this for months. One, you don't need to build every unit in the game, even though the game is trying to direct you in that direction. Even though in arena competitive play, you're gonna lose a lot of matches. Even though class match may be something people really love and you don't do really well in it. And even though you cannot defeat every single content in PvE, right? Remember I mentioned that earlier, PvE and PvP, two different things in the game? It truly is. You can skip completely everything that is PvP oriented and still do fine in this game. I just show you the mock shop for the guild battle tokens. There's nothing in there that you cannot obtain by playing the game regularly without having to play in Guild Wars. I think Guild Wars are great because, one, you get the boosts from the statues. Two, you get to hang out with people who love this game. Three, you know, you can just do whatever it is that you want. You know, you can choose to kind of take some time off from your farming and mess around in your guild, you know, activities, right? Whatever. Those are all fun in games. And I think this game, the true end game isn't really PvP in my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay, you don't have to agree or disagree. The true end game is longevity of enjoyment of characters. Like, for example, I don't give a crap about Titus. I don't really care too much about Ziza or any of these units. I don't. I really don't. What I do care about is Final Fantasy Tactics characters. One can just say, well, why don't you just go play some Final Fantasy Tactics? I could. But this game, it's different, right? It's on the go, and most of it's auto battle. So when you do have the few hours that you do want to spend and sit down and you want to manual some hard content, you could do it. And I feel like you can enjoy it better that way. And I think we talked about this across all the content creators, especially Cabbage, who brought out the idea. This game probably wouldn't be as successful if it did not have auto battle. And I waited and I waited and I waited for him to touch up on the Japanese culture in regards to mobile gaming and auto battling, and I don't think he ever did. I said to him a long time ago, months ago, that I would wait for him. But I truly believe that in Asian cultures, public transportation is one of the most easy access there. So people spend a lot of time on public transit. So they don't have much to do there, right? Most people just pick out their phone and start auto battling. And that's what farming is, essentially is the culture in Asian countries. You could say the same thing about any country that has a lot of public access. United States is difficult because the country is humongous. And even if we live in populated cities, we mostly live in the suburbs, even if we have to commute to work in the downtown area, right? That's just kind of the norm here in the United States. So we do a lot of driving, a lot of personal driving. Also contributes to the global issue of obesity, more or less, in the United States, right? Obesity is a humongous thing. I gain a lot of weight playing video games because I don't move around. Asian cultures, European cultures, South American cultures, whatever, people move around a lot. You know, they're riding the bus, they're riding their bicycle, they're walking, they're doing all that. So they can afford to eat like farmers. In America, we eat like farmers, but we don't do anything as if we are farmers. That's why obesity is a major issue. This is why the only country that has a show called My 600-Pound Life, which, by the way, is one of my favorite shows. So let's go back. Hey, what's going on, Stick Mog? It's your guildmate here. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Welcome, Stick. This game is still better than Black Desert Mobile, though. I spent $200 a month, but the mechanic of that game gets stronger, pure RNG. Yes, and I think we need to touch up on the idea of RNG. This game does have a little bit RNG elements, but not as much as, say, Summoner's War, right? Which is essentially almost all RNG, which that's why people love it and or hate it. I think this game has the guarantee system of getting the shards to make your units. It just takes time. I think this game truly tests a person's patience when it comes to the long haul, right? And I think that's how you can become successful. I think David and Ryan both touch up on the idea that you can be very successful in World Division as a free-to-play player if you plan right, if you just skip banners, don't get tempted. Don't ever get tempted. I'm gonna show you my vision cards. I have lots of regrets. This is what is so tempting for me to start all over. I have regrets, okay? I do have regrets. There are some of these vision cards I wish I never tried to get. And really maybe only make like 5 vision cards. And then rely heavily on the MRs and or lower. Because yes, you don't get quite as much stats. But your goal is to defeat PvE content. And I think that should be the main focus for all players. Defeat PvE content. Your goal is you should be able to auto hard, or as they call it, brutal difficulty in War of Divisions. That's what makes you become somewhat competitive in PvP. Now here's point number 2. Well, actually, I'm on point number 8. I think I'm on point number 8. I am Stick. I'm gonna switch to my main account. I'm playing FGO. This game's actually system. Oh, I know. I try FGO too. Trust me. So, I really wanted to make a detailed video covering this, and I think community will probably enjoy this, or I get shunned. Look, there's only 3 units here, right? I know the argument is this: you can switch out the different units depending on who you face. I get that, but the thing is, it's still 3 units. Okay, 3 units. So that means when you're doing party formation, you only are concentrating on making your 3 units both have synergy and of course viability, right? Or I mean, like, I guess you could say meta. or meta shifting, whatever you want to call it yourself. Ultimately, your investments for PvP purposes, especially for class match, is going to be very, very fine-tuned. But in terms of arena and guild wars, that's flavor of the week, boys and girls. And there's nothing anyone can do about it other than if you want to spend a butt ton of money, a boatload of cash to keep up with that. This is why they start doing these stupid bonuses in terms of everything. And people who are going to have all this stuff are always going to be higher than you, no matter what. You can't keep up with this concept. This concept is a very, it's a very toxic system, man. It doesn't show true competitive gameplay, and it doesn't show any sort of creativity at all. I know I'm going to say this over and over. Cabbage likes to emphasize the idea that he wants to go against the meta with some of the units that he builds. But he is a whale on JP. He has a lot of units. He can afford to do that. So in my opinion, it's counterproductive that he's saying he wants to counter the meta, but yet he's spending thousands of dollars to counter the meta. And technically speaking, he's might as well just spend that money and play with the meta. But the good news is he doesn't care too much about arena either, right? Or at least most of the time. Guild Wars, I'm not sure. I don't know. He showcased a lot of Guild War battles, but he definitely showcased a lot of arena battle. I think what got me the most, and essentially put the nail in the coffin, is lately he says in Japan that Dwayne and Dark Thick Thighs Helena are dominating arena to the point where if those two units are maxed, he cannot defeat them. He said that in his video. He says he has to hunt the lower level ones because he has gone up against the level 120s and he cannot defeat them. And he's a whale, ladies and gentlemen, right? He spent at least $5 grand, at least according to what he said. So that puts something into perspective. The game is poorly designed in that sense. It is terribly designed, a toxic design, and it needs to change. It needs to change because new units should not be featured in arena or in raids or in events, because yes, I get it that they're trying to cater to the spenders, but when you shun the majority of the players of this game, which by the way are going to be free to play players or light spenders if you will, you are essentially going to kill your game much faster than you're going to be generating cash. And just because you decided that you want to throw campaigns to bring older players back, such as Quack, by the way, in the chat, he's not going to come back to a system that's perhaps even worse than the system that was just done 6 months ago. So this Friday thinking, in my opinion, could be one of those Friday thinkings that are going to start creating some kind of storm in the community. At least that's what I'm hoping, to be honest. I want global players to stand up for ourselves and tell the companies, listen, you guys need to make some changes to this game, or this game is not going to go longer than, what, 2 years? And that would really make me sad because I plan to play this game for a very long time. Too many flaws in a game that probably should have been rolled out until they did some testing. Was EX even tested? Like, did they have this entire planning years ago before they implemented this game? I don't know, man. I just feel like when the company Gumi decides to step in, I think Square Enix should have just done this game themselves instead of relying on an actual mobile-based company like Gumi. Square Enix is such a big conglomerate, they probably should have just done this game themselves. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking by it, by the way. Equip RNG was so bad for this game in the beginning, they buffed the raids. Yes, Ryan, you're absolutely correct. FGO was such a... FGO, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't play that game because it was... The raids is so bad that it makes you want to pull your hair out. I never even got into... I tried 3 times. Just like I did with FFBE, by the way. I tried to play those games 3 times each. Each time re-rolling to get said strong units, top tier, whatever. This is why I hate tier lists. And then, of course, just literally a few weeks later, that tier list is annihilated. Right? And the sad part is, YouTube is just full of people loving tier lists. Everyone loves to be told how to play a game, man. Like, I know I'm in the minority here, and this is why my channel is not like in the hundreds of thousands in a short amount of time. Like, I feel like if people support and understand the idea that you don't need to have someone else tell you how to play the game, and play the game without actually making mistakes, right? That's what I mean, like making mistakes. Like, people don't want to have mistakes made. They want to have a good head start. Let's think about this in perspective. Who was the #1 ranked unit that people all said to roll for in the beginning of the game? I'll give you 5 seconds. I'll give you 5 seconds to have a hint. And by the way, there are a lot of people in the stream now. Hey, Seth. Hey, how you doing, Seth? How you doing? I tried Fantasy, but I stopped after they had 5 different versions of the same unit. I agree. Tier list gives you the views and the subscribers, man. I know. That's what I'm saying, Stick. It's sad because I was anti-tier lists. I think this game is not one of those games that has a tier list. And okay, so the timing is up. There it is. Mariana was the #1 recommended unit. And where is she at right now? Even at level 120. By the way, is anybody even building Mariana to 120? The mudflation or power creeping, I know that's one of Quack's favorite things. Power creeping is real in this game, right? Regardless of how we define power creeping. Essentially, simply put, it's just power getting stronger and stronger. Older units get lagged behind. Even with the EX, old units still getting lagged behind. Do you think people are going to be rushing to build the level 120 of Valade or Valad or whatever? The answer is probably not. And as a free-to-play player, the decision making is even more difficult than spenders, because spenders can make a mistake, quote unquote, and simply spend more money to recover from it. Free-to-play players cannot recover from mistakes. And what I mean by mistakes is, for example, building units at the wrong time. That's the kind of a mistake that can be crucial in this game. Remember, not every unit is useful in this game in one shape, way, or form. But it's the timing of when you build your units that makes you become successful. And unfortunately, the game is catered to players who are more than willing to spend to become successful at the moment that they need to be successful. In this case, will be raiding, weekly arenas, and of course, weekly guild wars. The map changes, so you have to kind of switch up. My team that's been working for me for the last 6 months, all of a sudden is getting smoked in guild wars. And believe you and me, it ain't because my equipment all of a sudden are worse, because it cannot be worse than someone. It's the same. My vision cards are the same. Everything is maxed. Everything I have is the max, just like any other player would send 3 of their best units into guild wars. All of mine are maxed. But all of a sudden, my units are getting destroyed. Because 1, the map changed. 2, you have to change your strategies. And 3, of course, you have to change your units. Which comes to the point that free-to-play players would never, even though I've said a few times that the gap was kind of maybe shortening, free-to-play players can never catch up. Even if you can only have those 3 units in PvP combat, when the game changes it up, you can no longer use those 3 units or those vision cards or whatever. Then that's when the gap starts widening as time progresses through the game. And unfortunately, no matter how many free visitors they give us or how many free units they give us, staying competitive is going to become harder and harder. Just like the Alchemist Code suffered, I mean, that game is still going, believe it or not. So my guess is this game will still go, but maybe not to the point of popularity as it is now. Maybe like, let's say we have 50 content creators for YouTube for this game. Maybe in a year when the game starts dwindling, unless some changes are made, we'll be down to like 10 content creators. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a lot of those content creators are all gonna migrate to a different game because it's just how it is. Content creators like to make money. They need to either, if they're full-time, they're gonna have to, right? They have to kind of adjust. Like, for example, what is that game called, ladies and gentlemen? What is that game called, ladies and gentlemen, that people don't like to use? And that, my friend, is what is that game? Oh my god, what is that game? Oh yeah, it's called GI, Genshin Impact. Literally everybody and their grandmother decided to try to capitalize on Genshin Impact in terms of content coverage. Some people became very successful, and while others are just kind of like another drop in the bucket. I decided I didn't even want to do it because I realized I would just be a drop in the bucket. And that's how it is. That's what gacha world is. The gacha world is so competitive. The mobile gaming is actually so competitive because it's billions and billions of dollars, right? It's billions of dollars. And the reason I say that is because 2 games alone has reached billions of dollars. The first game is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I'm sure a lot of you guys play that, right? Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That game made billions. Summoners Wars actually made billions. I'm not sure how much War of the Visions made, but I can't imagine making that much. So let's take all that I discussed and bring it all the way back. Can I really make all of these premium units viable on my team? The answer is no. Maybe one. Okay, maybe 1 or 2. Maybe. But then essentially I cannot have all of these other units. But then I realized, why did I build all these units? I don't even play with 50% of them. Like, I would totally give this account away to somebody. Like, I would just kind of play with my main account and just give this account away. I'm really tempted. Every single day I think about it. I think about making a video and say, listen, I'm giving away my 1 year and change account that has all kinds of stuff on it. Like, good stuff on it. Well, that's the other thing. Like, Ryan makes a good point. There are units in this game you just want to max to get their TMR. To me, that sounds terrible because as a free-to-play player, we talked about maxing units, but you can only max perhaps 1 UR unit or 2 vision cards per month, right? That seems the most viable option. But if you were to do that just to get 1 TMR, you have to be, it has to be a pretty game-breaking TMR though, right? What is going on, Rooks? How you doing, buddy? Limited mementos in TAA ruined it for me. I hate those. Yeah, I tried to play TAC recently. Couldn't do it. The graphics looks poor. There's so many units. Like, all the tier list has been like foobarred beyond recognition. I don't recognize anything anymore. And I get it though. Like, it's a game. Like, gacha games are seasonal, right? It's rotations. I believe what Square Enix is trying to do with War of the Visions is they want to make it rotational. And like, seriously, like in Summoners War, now that I'm back, they have this new system called Second Awakening for lower rarity units. So imagine this. Imagine this unit right here. Little Leela, the SR quality, is going to get a super boost. So let's say the EX only applied to SR units. Okay, that's essentially what's going on in Summoners Wars a year ago, last year. They took all the lower rarity units and gave them this new awakening system where they're a completely different unit with newer skills, more powerful skills, improved stats. Well, if you think about it, that's what EX is. But this game decided to do a reverse. They wanted to give all the UR units EX. So what does that mean? It means that even though if I'm EXing Little Leela, her usage in certain areas is the same as before. So there is no cyclical nature here. All we're doing is we took everything and we raised it up 1 more level. Which means, imagine how overwhelming that is for a brand new player is if they're entering arena, if they had a hard time beating people, let's say months ago, like I did against a bunch of level 99s. Imagine how disheartening it would be when you have a bunch of 99s and then you get crushed by a bunch of level 120s. Essentially, that's how I felt last week. War of the Visions, I'm watching. Very nice, whoever is doing that. This game would be so much better without the internet. Actually, M1 makes a funny point because that sarcasm is essentially saying we'd probably be better off playing the OG Final Fantasy Tactics, right? What's up, man? Did you get King Mon? Jose, how you doing, buddy? Yes, I got King Mon. It's right here. But it is on my free-to-play account. On the 2nd day of summoning, I got him for free. So I'm excited. Hey, what's going on, son? How you doing, buddy? Most of the old units EX abilities so far are so bad in my opinion. I agree. A lot of it is trash. It's not very good. Yeah, my friend quit in a week. I know. The first 2% of the game's design is for a very young person, like early teens. Yeah, probably. That makes sense. Ziza's actually carrying me in Guild War right now. Her EX is insane. I can 2-hit kill a Warrior Blight with his barriers up. Yes, Ziza is quite good if you have the good gear. I got beat by Kane. Dwayne though, Dwayne and 9S are actually both really solid units. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot wait for Diablo 2. Like, if you guys are fans of Diablo, I would love to play that game with you guys, with your support. And by the way, I did put these new things called Super Chat or something. It's obviously not a big deal, but if somebody were so inclined, they want to give me money, eventually that's what it is. That feature is available for you if you decide you wanted to highlight your comment in chat. Again, the only reason I implement it is because, well, it's something to do, right? It's not like I'm a full-time streamer trying to earn a fat load of boatload of cash. But now I think about it, if I want to not spend a whole lot of money on this game anymore, I don't even truly care about any of that stuff. That's also kind of go with the idea of why I'm going part-time with YouTube content creator. But that may change, guys. I'm telling you, this may change, because when D2 comes out, when D2 Resurrection comes out, I might be streaming a lot. No, Diablo 2 Resurrection, is it called Resurrection? It's a remake of D2. It looks really good. EX Engelbert, I don't know, man. He's probably gonna be tanky as balls. I haven't seen the new tier lists, but I'm sure he's gonna be probably just as good as EX Warrior Blight. But I agree that War Vision of the gacha MMOs needs to catch up with the time. Did you see that Final Fantasy BR? No, what is Final Fantasy BR? This game is gonna be so sick. Is mobile game on or PC? Wait, Jerry, are you talking about Diablo? Oh, illegit, giving me $1. Thanks, illegit, you're the man. I'm gonna take that dollar, I'm gonna go to the convenience store and get myself some potato chips right now. Just kidding. As I said before, any money that I generate on my channel goes back into War of Divisions. But if I no longer do War of Divisions later on, any money I generate will go into the game that I'm playing. That's just how it goes. They're gonna capture D2 like Genshin. So Diablo 2 Resurrection is gonna be a PC game, essentially an entire remake of Diablo 2, the original, except they're doing it with a graphic overlay. And I believe all the mechanics stay the same. It just looks better. Final Fantasy BR is going to be a Battle Royale First Soldier mobile game. We should probably Google that right now. Let's check it out. What is Final Fantasy Battle? Maybe I did hear of it. BR. It is called Final Fantasy Battle Royale. Oh, Jerry, thank you. Keep it up. Thank you, Jerry. Oh, it's called, wait a second. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII, the First Soldier is a different game. And Final Fantasy Battle Royale Mobile, wait a second, let's start over. Final Fantasy VII, the First Soldier is Final Fantasy Battle Royale. Dumas says, you lost me at Battle Royale. First Soldier looks fun to play for at least a week after that, depends on what broke stretch. Title is, yes, you're right. I'm looking at it, Final Fantasy Battle Royale. It's actually called Final Fantasy VII, the First Soldier, yeah. So basically it's like all those other Battle Royale type of games. Maybe you could just do magic and you summon. It's not like a first-person shooter, right? It doesn't look like it. So move over, PUBG and Apex Legend. Square Enix wants in on the $1 billion BR market, and it's Final Fantasy to break in, or Final Fantasy 7. First off, that sounds crazy. I suck at those games, so if you guys want to see me get my ass kicked, I'll give it a shot, because that's the title, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy Battle Royale, right? Just that sounds contradicting, right? Because like if I'm thinking of a Battle Royale game, I'm thinking like anything but Final Fantasy. You know what I was thinking? Maybe I should start playing Street Fighter and play some of the best players online and like see if I can beat them. I doubt it. I think that ends the Friday Free Thinking. I think I said way too much for this episode. I want to thank everybody for participating, obviously, because it makes sense to think about it in those terms, right? This game, if this game wants to see itself become what Hiroki and the other producer and JP are envisioning, then they really have to kind of like start listening to the player base a lot more. And honestly, like, I know Justin doesn't watch my stream, doesn't come to my channel. He's like really good friends with Diggs. But maybe I should go talk to him and be like, listen, the questions you guys are posting on your Q&A on each of your videos are not really that great. What about changes, overhauls of the game? Instead of just where I can find more shards of this and that. No, I want overhaul of the game. I want things that are drastic changes. Like, slow down on the progression. It's only 1 year and you're making us go to a tier 2 of leveling our units all over again. That makes no sense. Like, you know, they should have at least done a survey of some kind. Ask the player base what we think of, you know, giving us the EX treatment. But, you know, maybe I am becoming what people are saying that us global players are griping about. Maybe I am, but I think about it, dude. I'm spending my money. My money is just as good as your money. I'm giving you my time. My time is just as good as your time. I should have the right to say how I feel. And I think every player, regardless if they spend or not, they're playing the game, they're watching the ads, so they're essentially supporting the game and the company. We should all have a right to say what's on our mind. And if we don't like something, we shouldn't be called spoiled brats. We should be able to allow to say what we want to say. But you got me at Street Fighter. All right, let's do some Guild Wars on my main account. I'm gonna log in and I'm gonna log out. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna close this, and then we're gonna go ahead and this transition isn't that smooth, I understand. Here we go. This is kind of a ghetto system to do this, but this is the only way I can do this, unfortunately. So here we go. I am on my main account. Let's do some Guild Wars. I will not be needing that, and unfortunately you also get to see a bunch of things here. So let's work on my barracks. My problem with my barracks is this. I did not finish Titus. Okay, I didn't finish Titus, as you can see. And I'm using all limited time units. My favorite character is still Orlando, just because I'm very loyal to my favorite characters. I did end up buying the Vision card for Final Fantasy X, and I maxed it, so I spent all my medals on that. Oh, we got, whoa, what is this? He's invited me to a friendly match. I don't think so. I can tell you're probably gonna whip my butt. And by the way, that's a Japanese name. That's kind of a cool name. So by the way, we're doing some shifting. A lot of players are leaving the guild because they're quitting the game, right? They're dealing with, except saying bomb on an airplane. What's wrong with saying a bomb on an airplane? My brother was a bombardier in the Air Force. Bomb, 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 bomb. Okay, anyways, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. All right, I'm gonna do a Guild War real quick. Here we go. I've been on cleanup duty and we're getting our butts beat down right now. So it looks like I'm gonna attack one team. We got a good amount of players left. Let's go ahead and show you in detail what my team is. So I switch it up a little bit. Because the stage is essentially geared towards slash, I'm gonna go with this. Now, by the way, the graphic doesn't look as quite as sharp because obviously I'm mirroring my phone. Because if I farm on, by the way, I switched to BlueStacks 5. The crashes are less frequent, but there's still a lot of crashes. So this is my team. I'm gearing towards physical defense. So I have my slash. So let's take a look at my party abilities. I have magic attack up, or excuse me, magic resist, unit attack resist, and I'm going with my normal, obviously supporting unit. And then I'm going with some magic defense, and of course, I'm going with some man-eater. So that's kind of where I'm doing. We're doing some PvP brainstorming. So that's the other issue. I haven't gone in Discord in a very long time, so I'm very out of the loop. Did somebody say boom, sandy cheeks? Whoops, sorry, that was me. They flew feet last night. Oh, okay, alright. They did. Whether it was fixed or anything, it was fixed in your update. Oh, they say they really? So Tatiana says they fixed some of the crashes. I'm gonna have to test that out because earlier I was playing on my free-to-play and I crashed still. So should we attack this Mont team? Yes, we are gonna attack this Mont team because I'm stupid and their entire team is gonna whoop me because I don't care. I'm just showing you guys how YOLO I am or how bad of a War of Division player I am. All their elements beats mine, but at the same time, light beats dark, but dark beats light, right? This is Fluffy. Hey, what's going on, Emerson? Fluffy, all right, yo, it's actually been a long time since I chatted with you guys. I know I chatted with Fluffy a few times on Discord. All right, let's do some commentary, kind of like live sport. Here we go, boys and girls. Alright, so we got Mont moving. He's already got his flame sword. Now we have my guy moving with self-haste. Looks like my unit is moving into place to do nothing. And I remove all her buffs and of course did nothing else. Alright, they're going to be concentrating on my warrior light because that's what I want them to. Not enough damage because I am definitely built for, never mind, I just completely one-shotted their badass. And this is not a match in my favor because, well, my guy is ice, his guy is fire. And okay, so now they're concentrating still. Okay, so we're still taking some good damage. We got some heals to back it up. And it looks like their Mon is very tanky, but if we can just knock this unit down a notch, we can probably win this fight. Can we get this kill? Nope. Nope. Alright, we have successfully made them waste a full life. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got... So now we just have to kill her twice, because I'm pretty sure she did a re-raise on herself. Holy me, where's... Wait a second, where... Okay, I Excalibur his ass, and boom, down goes the dynamite. Oh, my full life didn't work. I think I'll lose this, boys and girls. My full life, I needed that full life. This is gonna be a grind until she completely runs out of AP, and she did. Now her TP is out, and I should be able to kill her now. Oh no, she got the stupid crystal. Son of a... Okay, I got to stop. Here we go. Here we go. Mega Flare for the win. And we got the win. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, see what happens is I go in there thinking I'm going to get my ass handed to me because they have a fire unit, they have a dark unit. They were both going to slaughter my main tank, right? But unit one-shotted Mr. KOR. By the way, when KOR gets the EX treatment, he might be a force to reckon with. So now that I'm essentially depleted, I'm going to do some cleanup duty and... frankly, this is sad. I'm gonna have to just fight Johnny and be the cop-out because a point is a point. Because I think I depleted skills on my guys. I probably should have checked. Alright, I'm going to restock. And while you guys are watching that real quick, I am going to reset my there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and skip. There's no reason to watch this. All right, there we go. We got 4 points for the guild. Wait a second. Hey, Stick and Fluffy, did our guild leader send you guys to spy on me? I'm just kidding. Oh, that's right. You're right. Kotetsu did remove re-raise. I'm glad you reminded me of that, actually. So let's take a look at my vision cards. It's looking pretty solid. Obviously, I got this card because last time I streamed, which happened to be 2 weeks ago, someone asked, are you going to get the vision card? And someone else said, I believe Ryan actually said that, you know, if you're going to get the Suteki, you probably want to go all in. I think Second was here last time too. And so I decided I am going to go all in on Titus because he's just badass, right? He's a badass. He plays with air soccer and he slashes people. So I like water. I may be tempted to get Aerith, to be honest, because she's water and she's probably going to be a badass hybrid healer supporting unit. And so any new vision cards besides those? No. No, the answer is no, except this one. I think I'm slowly working on this. I still have the medals to just to buy it straight out, which will probably be the case because I mean, honestly, like I believe strongly in that right now we can't farm for vision card shards, right? We can farm for unit shards. So I think you should go all the way in on vision cards if you're gonna get them and then get those done. This is a card I really want to finish because this with Kane actually is stupid good. It's actually just good, period. I really kind of like shunned this card when it was first shown, but attack up and AP up, it's bodaciously good. It's deliciously good. And of course, I went all in on this because I'm going to go all in on KR Stern when it's all said and done. You know, if that Halloween card, I believe whatever that card is, that increased defense penetration. But as you guys saw, unit is still a force to be reckoned with, right? The fact that a lot of the dark slash tack units, they're weak to magic, unit still tears them up. So even if you invested heavily on, say, KOR, you still might get shot in your foot. That Titus card makes him so much fucking strong. You are absolutely right, Jerry. That it does make him super viable. Even though I got my butt handed to me the other day when I got steamrolled by another Titus. He was hitting me way harder. I couldn't figure it out. Like, why is he hitting me harder? We have the same gear. I was thinking maybe because he has just better resistance. I guess it's Eon Ball on steroids. Yes. It's like, I think seriously, David, I might go all in on Aerith as well. Just because she's cute. You know, it's a hottie you want to get on your account because you want to play with them. Like, I should start playing with Rosa more. Like, honestly, I really feel like playing with Rosa more because this card says ice attack unit up 50%. Hello, Rosa, right? I mean, one shotting people. Oh, by the way, on my free-to-play account, I fought against a team that was really good strategy. It was a really good strategy for this specific map. I don't know if it will work on every level, but if where Yuna is and where Gilgamesh is, you put two gunners, right? And their job is to buff themselves with range and missile attack. And when they get to the center point, your enemy units are going to funnel through the steps. And then because of the formation of how these two units are going to come, they're going to go straight forward. And they're going to crossfire, right? They're going to cross their fire, and they're just going to be sniping your enemy units down. And chances are most people are not going to be prepared with missile resistance. So that might be a viable option for some of you guys out there who are really heavily invested into missile units. I really enjoy that strategy when I fought against it. I will do the guild stuff later. I think we can maybe do a couple arena matches just for fun. In Brutal, he hits like 4 to 6. Yeah, I I dealt 6K after like, yeah, a couple of chains. I'm so used to clicking on my mouse. So agenda next week is I gotta get a haircut. I gotta finish my taxes this weekend. And then I'm going to the wedding, and then when I come back, I got some more stuff to take care of. So I didn't do a whole lot of PvP yesterday, so I dropped down to 11,000. I think the highest I climbed was 2,000 or 3,000. So I got a couple of compositions set up here. I got a main attack team. This is my main attack team. I go after magic units. This is my defensive anti-slashing unit, anti-pierce. I put sit attack here, but this comp is not very good. This is anti-missile team, I guess. And then I use this if it's a really easy team, so I can get maximum bonuses. We might be doing that. We might be doing that. Nope, that's not bonus. Some of these player ranking are definitely scams, man, I tell ya. Oh, see, that's a scam right there. This guy is level 85, ranking 85, but got all these decked out units. Actually, is that... You know this guy is one of those persons that trying to get you if this is maxed. Oh, it's not maxed. Let's do it, boys and girls. You only live once. Let's do this. I'm gonna set myself to fail here, guys. I want a healer utility reason. Alright, man, I'm gonna pop out. Thanks for gracing me with your presence. Hey, yes, Stick. Take care, buddy. But I have too many heavy hitter units. Crystal card and arena. I know. Well, this ought to be interesting because my units are not very well leveled up in weapon proficiency. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hit him. And he's definitely strong against me because I'm using a wind team against a ice team. Oh, that didn't kill him. Can I get the kill? Oh, perfect evasion. Very good. But remove my buff. Oh, that didn't kill. Then not perfect evasion again. Okay, there we go. We got one down. Make them waste their re-raise. Oh, I thought my re-raise is gone now too. Okay, I got the heal. They got the heal. That was decent damage. Perfect evasion again. That's 3 perfect evasions. Healing power down. I like that. Make him waste that heal. Yeah, their Gilgamesh is very not well equipped, so. Crystal card in arena, don't you love it? I gotta admit though, the 3 physical evasion was pretty sweet. Now I gotta grind out all of her skills out because I'm gonna have to make her waste her skills. There you go, healing power down. That's what I really like about her. That should be GG, right? Alright, good times. I just highlighted that person on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't black out their names. So when you're doing these things live, you can't black out their names. Alright, let's find another team. Here we go. Oh no, that's a pretty nasty team. Yuck. I was tricked by them. Look at all these nasty teams. This team might be doable, but I'm gonna have to use anti-slash team. I might still lose though, because I always lose to Auron. He's so strong, man. Auron's pretty strong, at least right now. And by the way, after this arena, I'm gonna go summon my free summon today. I'm not gonna do the 9 steps. Because I don't really... Like, if I was going after King Mont, I would totally summon on the 9 step. But yeah, I don't think I'm going after King Mont. So here we go. We got Kane, who slowed him. That's good. I like that. That's good. That's good damage. Mr. Tank here needs to move to the front line, man. He's just so slow. I forgot. I didn't even pay attention who has re-raise. Wait a second. What happened to my courage? Why didn't my guy cast courage? A bit confused. That's like no damage. Oh, I didn't get the stop though. So their re-raise is done. I should have this in the bag. Oh, never mind. Yeah, there it is. Oh, there it is. Never mind. There's their re-raise. But where's my courage? Did my courage get depleted? Auron is durable and he has true hit skills that are very long. Yes, I agree. Nash, what's good, brother? Oh, hey, what's up, Bodega? I was like, oh my god, I couldn't recognize the name. I recognize your YouTube name. TDB in the house. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Bodega, the true, what we call dirty whale, he is one of our cold guild leaders. I would like to welcome him to the stream. So we're gonna do a summon, see where my luck is in terms of getting King Mont, but I'm not going to put my hopes up because I've been pretty unlucky with my summons. So this is just the free 10 shot, okay? Nothing more, nothing less. Can we get some? My fire team is King Mont, Rain, Reldor. Yes. Jerry, seriously, that's what my free-to-play account looking like, man. I can't wait. I didn't look at all that. Do we have a chance? Is that gonna turn rainbow and give me King Mont? I doubt it. I wish I had that thing in chat where people can vote. Like you can vote like if I'm gonna get a rainbow or not, and then you can get like bonus points. Oh, it's definitely not. It's gonna it turned gold, didn't it? It was gold, yeah. Here we go. Turn rainbow. No. Okay, there it is. No King Mon today. Sorry, folks. Honestly, I wouldn't be working on him anyways because it's just too expensive to work on him right now, given the fact that he is not a limited time unit. Maybe I should just. Some people said you should stick to your game plan of just playing with limited time units. And I was thinking, actually, that may be true because that's all I'm really doing, right? I can't wait for Sid to be impactful again. I'm hoping that maybe we'll get Final Fantasy Tactics rerun before we get Final Fantasy 7 rerun, because I would love to have Cloud and old Orlando Sid do some massive damage to people. And then throw in 9S for giggles. Oh, look at that, boys and girls. I got King Mon farm already. I'm putting this on Amusement Park and Fire because I want to farm King Mon shards. It might take a few years, but you know, it will get there. So looking at my sorry ass fire team, this Jerry is how sorry my team is, by the way. It's so bad. This is my main account fire team. This is how crappy. Like, they haven't announced selection quests for fire on JP yet, so I'm not too worried about it. 2B or 9S for 120. I don't know why I put 2B SSSS in this. That's a good question. 2B actually is probably a little bit worse than 9S in my opinion. Xmas, Mushery is definitely a solid unit. He is cheap if you use your tokens and you have enough of them, you'll be willing to spend a little. Yes, Fire Metal will be strong after Phoenix. Curious to see if Card is getting global buff in 120 next week. I don't have a good wind spear. I went with 9S weapon. 9. Ooh, is 8 on the calendar? That's a good question. Actually, you know what, Bodega? I know he shows us the calendar in our guild Discord before. Maybe. I know they haven't announced it on JP. Wait, is Final Fantasy VIII announced? I don't know. I haven't kept up with that. Well, here's the thing, right? Fire is going to be legit. I'm definitely going after the Phoenix card on the free-to-play account. Because I am so loaded on Fire. Wait, what? Renoa, Angelo, Cannon? Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, my Fire looks pretty rough. I don't even know who to build next, to be honest. Like, nowhere near close. I can definitely work on her. Nope. See, look, all these guys I haven't even started farming. But if I was to do a Fire team that's going to be doing selection quests, it would be this guy. Ishtola, of course. It's going to be Naya for healer. That's the problem. Like, is there a tank? There is no tank. See, the problem is there is no tanks for Fire. So they're going to have to give us a new Fire unit, right? For lower rarity selection quests, they have to give us a tank, and there is no tank unless someone's coming. I don't know. I don't see how that selection quest might work. Yeah. Lara. I don't think I'm gonna care too much about Lara Croft, to be honest. I have very bad luck on my main account, Jerry, but I have very, very good luck on my... Raldor is pretty bad pull, but now I have EX, my insurance. Raldor is like a tank, but what I'm saying is the selection quest for Fire, right? There's no tanks. So Phoenix is going to be a tanky card, tanky Esper, but we need a Fire tank for lower rarity. We don't necessarily need a, say, Paladin main job, but we need either the Spellblade, maybe. Ice. Earth is the one, obviously, I did in my last stream. I'm pretty good to go. Pretty good to go, right? Earth is pretty good to go. I think we only have light and we only have dark. I think my light should be ready to go. I need to start working on her. I need to work on Marielle, because Marielle is essentially going to be my tank. Then I got some time mages, and then dark I seemingly will have some issue, because I guess I can go with Little Leela for tanking, magical tank, but Titus is going to be the physical tank, right? So you're going to probably need both. And then essentially, where is the healer? There is no healing, right? The problem with the dark team is, where's the healer? So you probably have to use Little Leela as a healer for the selection quest. Very weird. So after Cloud, Lightning meta, yep, that's probably fair. And then Fire would be next. What the selection quest? So selection quest, David, is what's going on in JP, where they give you quests that you have to accomplish by using only non-UR units. And each time you do those quests and you finish the mission, you gain the shards of that specific UR unit of that element. So currently there is Earth, Light, and Dark on JP. So I'm assuming we're gonna get the same sequential release on Global. I believe I want to say Earth is the first. I think Earth, his name is... You guys can help me. I forgot Earth's name. Ah man, I forgot the Light guy's name. But the Light guy is like... What's his name? Forgot. Galerio... forgot his name, but... The dark is the one I'm after. The dark is going to be a time mage, and he's a UR time mage. I guess you could do Shadow Link's evasion tank. You can just probably do evasion on your entire squad here, right? You got Shadow Links, you have Gafgarion, and then you have Ryu. They're all kind of agi slash evasion characters. There it is, Camilo. Wait, are you sure it's not dark? But didn't we just see dark? So it looks like it's light, earth, and Gargus. But they just announced dark, right? Am I right? Am I missing something? Because 2 weeks ago, you guys were telling me about the dark time mage main class UR unit that's coming out on JP. Oh, the dark unit. Oh man, I'm thinking of something else. So no dark it. Okay, good then. So it looks like we're working on light first. So it's Camilo. Moraga is gonna be earth. It's a handout. Okay, my bad. Okay, see, this is why I do stream, man. Like, if I don't do stream, I wouldn't know what I'm doing. Next is lightning. So, no, it was light, earth, dark. Yeah, okay, so we're good. Wait, no. So, okay, so we know is light, which is Camilo. Earth, which is Moraga. No dark, and then wind. Wind is... So wind is that new guy, Gargus. Okay. So wind. Let's take a look at my wind team. I might go with her. I might go with Lorelei just because I have all the bows for her. I know she doesn't do good damage, but she could be my supporting unit. You know what I mean? Like do a ranger, have long range, and just like snipe people from a distance using the charm bow. That might be a solid strategy. Of course, if they're gonna make us do this, I have to probably go back and watch the videos to see if crowd control is a legitimate thing, right? Because if that's not a thing, then all this stuff go out of the water here. Let's see if Mia has Steelheart. That's all I'm really concerned with. There it is, Steelheart. All right, good. So it looks like Steelheart and the charm bow might be the way to go for wind, actually. So essentially, healing wise, I have to pick between Kadia or Helena, and it looks like the answer has been made for me. Helena is maxed. I shall be using Helena then. And of course, Dario will have to be my tank. I'm quite a bit short on him. And I'm gonna ignore Kadia. I wanna try to get Lorelei finished. Sasha, of course, I got spears for her. And of course, I have Mia. So wind might work too. I'm excited to use Gafgarion again, especially with the new accessory. Lorelei can get decent damage since she can get guaranteed crit. Yeah, like, I think my plan for all these quests is to try to mess around with enemies by using crowd control, tank and spank. That's the way I'm planning on going. Because Vistral also has charm because his main job is thief. So there it is, Steelheart. And if lightning is next, and there we go. Almost every element has, sorry guys, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So it looks like every class will have one, with the exception of ice and fire. And water has it, obviously. So every team can charm with the exception of only a couple elements. So there you go, that will be it. So yeah, I think I'm ready to get Moraga because my team's looking really, really solid for Earth. And then Light is being first. I have 1, 2, 3. Just need to finish Homegirl here as a tank. So with some more free summons coming, I maybe, quote unquote, crossing fingers, be able to get her finished. And then, yeah, Mr. Vistral is a little bit ways off. And then, of course, Elshra is going to be a long ways off. So, standardized team is going to be these five. So, yep, looking pretty good there. And little update on my espers. I need to probably start working on getting this finished, but I'm out of, as you can see, I am out of Magicites. I thought about getting the pack for it, but I elected to pass. I think the next one I'm going to work on is Golem. But since I'm missing Magicites, it may not be worth it for me to do it, because then I have to re-level him. And I'm out of Dark too, so I couldn't get Omega. I didn't bother getting those done. So definitely annoyed at the fact that even as a spender, if I don't spend to buy those Magicite packs, I'm so far behind on the espers too. Yes, like I was really gonna work on Liart. I know like Liart, a lot of people are big fans. Like she has double usage, right? She could be very, very good. I probably should just get it done today. Isn't today Friday? Today is Lightning Day, right? I should just go ahead and do her. I should just do her then, because I should do her tonight because I have enough to farm it. And then I can just farm all these materials for her, because I should just... Yeah, I mean, this should be fairly easy because... Actually, yeah, I can buy those from the shop. And this is a quick, easy done with the things. I do need to work on her proficiency. As you can see, it's really, really bad, right? It's E's across the board. Need to work on those. So I think that would be my next unit to actually bring in preparation, because my only other option will be this guy. I got Earthwise. I really want to do her next for EX when she comes. So it'll be Mont, Mustadio, Etra. Probably that guy. And so Mon is going to be my tank, and then yeah, I should be good. Okay. Mafia Bob's and Wednesday Shop Liard. EX Liard, highest accuracy in the game. Really? Nice. That's good to know. I should probably do her tonight when I do a little bit more farming before I go to bed. Lately, I've been trying to sleep a little bit more earlier than usual, because I realize I function a lot better when I sleep earlier and wake up during the day. It's probably how, you know, we're designed to do, right? The Crystal Sanctum ladies have amazing reviews. Oh yeah, I love the ladies. The ladies are good. The ladies are really, really good. All my free-to-play account, all 3 ladies are 99. I was actually quite impressed with that. Yeah, they really need to give us more Magicites. Like, you know, like the spenders are gonna all have all decked out espers. That's probably how I got my butt handed to me in a mirror match. That's actually a good point, because I probably got smoked by that team because he was just outputting way more damage than me because he had better espers. I didn't think about that at the time. But espers make such a big difference when it comes to the extra bonus damages, and of course, you know, stats, right? The 3-star espers are going to be a lot more superior than your 2-star counterparts. So unfortunately, there isn't really a whole lot of stuff to farm unless you guys want to farm something, but I don't really necessarily need to farm, to be honest, anymore. Like right now, I realize multiplayer, like it's so tedious for me to do because of the crashes. I can't even farm on my free-to-play account. Like I would just farm one brutal and the game will crash. One brutal and the game will crash. It's so tedious. Like it really made me feel sad. And I was almost tempted to literally buy out the flame tongue weapon sword for King Mon. Actually, I'm gonna talk about that weapon probably tomorrow or Sunday. I'm thinking Sunday though, because it makes more sense. I'm trying to get my tax done tomorrow, so then I can spend Sunday making the video, because I really want to talk about it, because I have a really solid fire team, and there's obviously a few units that can use that weapon. I mean, that flame tongue, I can use it on what's his name? Oh my goodness, brain fart, brain freeze. Ramza's like half brother, Delita. Oh my god. So I have Delita, right? So maybe I'll get 2 flame tongues, one for Delita and then one for King Mon. So that would be kind of smooth. Whisper is a suck meme though. She has really good special. Yeah, Whisper is like, I can see now why Chris ranks him so low on his tier list, right? Nerd Knight ranks her really low because he's a free-to-play player, so he's ranking her low because of the fact that she is so intensive in terms of required gear, required vision cards, and things like that. So I can see that. That makes more sense. When I first saw that, I was kind of shocked. I was like, wait a second. This is why I don't like tier lists. But then when I rethought about the situation, and it made more sense because of the fact that she is such a hungry, she's such a equipment hungry person. I can bring my King Mon. Yeah, let's do it then. All right, if you guys are down, let's farm a little bit of Flame Tongue. I actually haven't even started farming. I've been very kind of relaxed lately in terms of gear farming. So if we're doing fire, I'll give you guys some time to figure that out. I will wait at least 10 seconds after the password is on the screen. And once I get that set up, I will change my team. And there we go. So now we're caught up with password. I'm gonna switch to a different unit once some people decide to join. We can farm some flame tongues if you guys want to. You know, I'm down. I'm always down for that. But remember, I was telling you guys that I'm going to a wedding. This is the 3rd time I mentioned it on stream. So, you know, with any weddings, you have to try to look good, right? I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter that much. But man, that just looks good, man. That looks really, really good. The fact that I like his art. I like his portrait. It looks really good. So, continuing story. I am going to the wedding of one of my good friends, whom I've known for well over 20 years. And I got an outfit that I wore a little while back. And I really enjoy the outfit, you know, it looks good. So, unfortunately, I gained some weight during the pandemic, perhaps like a lot of folks. And so I decided that I need to kind of go on a sort of a healthier eating streak over the last course of six weeks now. And I lost like 10 pounds. So I think I'm gonna fit pretty nicely into my clothes. And it's gonna be good for me because I needed to do that. So I guess we're going with this. I'll go with this team. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the haircut. I'm definitely getting the haircut for sure. I will set it up probably for Monday. I'll go get a haircut on Monday. I look really, like, I don't look really skinny or anything, but I look at myself in the mirror, I look a lot leaner. Like, it's like I did a pretty good job with eating really clean. Like, my diet would be mostly, you know, lean protein, even though sometimes I do eat like fattier protein. But I've been cooking with only olive oil for like years. Ever since I actually met my fiance 13 years ago now. Like, my cleaning only consists of olive oil. So we get a lot of good, you know, non-saturated fat, right? And so basically I would eat a lot of vegetables. Like, I definitely do a lot of veggies. Like, my go-to veggies back in the days would be broccoli. But honestly, man, broccoli sometimes just tastes like blah, you know? It really tastes like blah. I can see why people hate broccoli. I do a lot of green beans now. Like, I just kind of blanch it and then kind of like stir fry the green beans. It's really tasty. And I eat sometimes literally like no carbs at all for a day. Like, if I'm gonna be like I just do little light workouts, right? I just do little light workouts. Maybe like some push-ups, just body weight squats. So if I do those, then I'll probably go a little bit more on carbs, because I know when you go and you like do a lot of weightlifting, like when I used to do a lot of weightlifting in the gym, like bench presses and squats and things like that, I learned that if you don't eat carbs, like simple carbs, you have no energy to actually lift weights. So for me, like I definitely, like, I can do fine without eating a lot of carbs throughout the day. And if I do, I usually eat like whole wheat bread or something. And that seems to get me through. And I do pretty good with that, by the way. So yeah, I feel a lot better. Like, I feel a lot better. My goal is to get to maybe 170 pounds. Kitty priority. Feeding cat, nice. I would like to see Mon in action. But you know, Yuna is gonna be... I feel like Yuna was a good investment for me, personally. Like, I think she's great. She's always gonna be good as one of your go-to healers, and she has really good offensive powers. So I think she was a good investment. And she doesn't really die easily either. If you like gear her with like anti-physical attacks, she does really well. It's head eating time around 8:30. Oh, you're in the Pacific, so you're in California. Oh, look at that, 2 flame tongues. That's the problem I'm going to have on this account, is I don't have a fire team to meet the requirement to get the +3. On my free-to-play, it's gonna be so easy. I have all of those fire units, but on this account, I can't do it. I'm thinking though, maybe if I just level a few of my fire units, I can throw like a friend's Firemont or like a friend's Raldor, probably could clean house. Washington, Seattle, okay, great. I wanted to go to Seattle. I always wanted to go to Seattle because of their fish market. I could go for a large bowl of pho with all the toppings and a coconut boba, right? Man, you're talking like, you're making me hungry. I gotta go eat again right now. That's what I want to do one day. I want to learn how to make my own pho. I know it takes a lot of work, but I would like to make my own pho sometime. I can actually auto it without any deaths. I should have autoed the first time. So yeah, I'm thinking just any one of you guys King Mont would probably do the trick. I do like the fact that King Mont, he's an arch lord. He's not called a king, I guess, but but he has the staff. I really thought when they released him, he's going to be a battle mage. I haven't even looked at his skill. He does look very regal though, right? Doesn't he? He's holding the staff. Like a cane or something, and then he's had the sword, but I was actually hoping he'll be one of the hybrid classes where he's utilizing actual slash attack and actual magic instead of combining both, like the you know, not like Howlet, because Howlet is kind of like that. But I can dream, right? I can dream about it. So is David, are you still in here? I did a multi with a Mr. Mont and Auron level 60s and just another Titus 120. Nice. The trial companion King Mont works, always available. Yeah, like, well, here's the thing. If I rush to get my King Mont up to a decent level, it doesn't have to be like 120. Just weapon proficiency, and then I can probably do it with my free-to-play account. King Mont. He's skipping leg days. Let's see. Let's take a look. He's got that giant coat on. Oh yeah, you're right. He did skip leg days. Well, you have to figure, like, he's a king, so he probably doesn't have to walk. He didn't get his mom's thighs. Well, don't worry, his mom is coming pretty fast. That sounded terrible. His mom is coming really fast. All right, guys, don't make that into a meme. His mom is coming really fast. That could totally be, you know, that's permanently on the internet right now. I have to delete the stream because I said that. You know, someone's gonna take that audio clip and use it on something else. I'm not gonna lie though, I really would like Dark Helena Rose. If I really care about meta shifting, I would have probably got Dwayne, you know? I know, son. Don't turn it into something. So Dwayne and Dark Rose are gonna be like the most obnoxious thing to deal with. Well, technically speaking, maybe after he became king, he stopped walking, you know? The double cost Leona's family. So who do we got? We got Mont. We got Helena. Oh yeah, we have KOR. All we need is his dad. Wait, isn't his dad the samurai guy? But he's already getting the 120 treatment. Oh man, if they release a double version of him. How about this? How about they give us the dad for free, right? They're making us work extra hard for the entire family. Let us have the dad for free, like just straight up free, and then maybe like 750 sharp. No. 600 sharp. Like give us a level 99 version. So yeah, we're gonna have Super Stern. We're gonna have Dark Helena. We're gonna have Mont. Those three right there could be just obnoxiously rough to deal with. Oh yeah, by the way, my Super Stern is pretty much ready to go. I have enough shards to EX him right away when the stuff comes. So tomorrow I'm gonna just sit there and farm all the different tablets. That's what I do on Saturdays. Like, I don't really play on Saturdays, so what I do is I just go ahead and burn my tickets and just farm a bunch of tablets, and then I'm done for the day, besides Guild Wars and Arena. So next week I'll try to get King Mont. I can't, right? Because You need a lot of shards to get King Mon. They're not really giving us too many. I have KOR EX waiting 400 ready. Yeah, I think I have 362, 63. So I just need like 30. That should be no problem because they'll probably give us some free shards anyways, right? Here's the thing, right? Like, it's really actually easy and doable for free-to-play players to do premium units going forward in the future if they keep doing the 9 steps. The 9 steps with a singled out unit like they're doing with Tifa and JP, that makes sense, right? Because you spend, what, 14,000 Visiors and you get upwards to 350 shards, then that's really doable. Jerry, it's funny you said that. I just got my Ice Brand. I just got my 63rd recipe copy of the Ice Brand. So I'm gonna be crafting that since I have my Mr. Gilgamesh ready to go. As you guys saw, Gilgamesh is actually quite strong, man. Gilgamesh is strong. Like, he's really, really strong. He's really, really fast and really, really strong. He's a really nice pair up if you use him with Titus, for example. Like, Titus will give the haste to go, whatever, and then you can save an extra step by using Gilgamesh to do something else instead of the self haste. Because I could be wrong, but don't you get a little bit more agi with the Titus buff? I'm not sure, but I've never been a numbers guy, but I could probably easily look that up. Looks like David is no longer in here. Yeah, the +5 is supposed to be the best weapon over the free UR version, actually. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that would. Well, I'm still not a fan though, like 0.8%. I'm more of like thinking along the line that just give us the 9 step, right? The 9 step, it's you have a higher chance to get both the unit and a ton of shards for that unit. But I'm still happy with the fact that the game decided to give us the 10x summons for 7 days for a whole week. And with an increased rate to get, with an wait, is it an increased rate? Because he's double sharded or double cost. Maybe I just got really lucky. I don't know, but either way, I'm really glad they did that because I'm sure a lot of players out there have King Mon because they got it from the free summons. I'm actually perfectly content with not having King Mon on my main account because I'm probably going to be enjoying King Mon a lot more building him on my free-to-play account since I'm so fire oriented. You know, I have such a big fire oriented roster, and I think it makes more sense that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on building my fire teams and working on those guys for my free-to-play and just have a lot of fun that way. You got Warrior of Light. I do have Warrior of Light. Wait, what? I'm lost in that one. These are rate up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Getting food, David. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be a nuisance. I was just gonna ask you. Do you are you still you're the one that still plays Summoners Wars, right? Because I think I asked Jerry last week or 2 weeks ago. I asked him if he plays Summoners War, but I got him mixed up. Because I think you're the one that was telling me about Summoners War. Because I think 3 weeks ago when I was streaming, or maybe it was 4 weeks ago when I was streaming, that's when I wanted to get back into log in, see if I could get my account back on Summoners War, right? And it turns out I was able to get back in. And so I kind of left off. I guess I sort of left off where, like, I kind of just left off a middle of nothing. Like, I have so much stuff saved up. But it was, it's kind of like, ever since I started playing that, it's just, I mean, if you guys think War of the Visions is a farm grind fest, Summoner's War literally is a farming simulator. I still don't mind it though, because it kind of has those cute graphics like Pokemon. I think that's the reason why I really enjoy playing it, because it literally reminded me of Pokemon when I first saw it. This game is definitely seemed more like adult graphics, not adult graphics, but like more like mature graphics, mature gameplay. Oh, I haven't spent a penny, David. I spent 0. I moved to Epic 7 as well, but I think Epic 7 is too much. Like, it's trying to get me to do too much every day. Epic 7 is not one of those games you can just play on the side, it seems like. And I was heavily invested in Summoner's War time-wise. And getting back into it, I feel so behind. Epic 7 is kind of like a better made version of Summoner's Wars. War of the Visions is kind of like somewhere along the middle of all that. Like, the rates aren't that great, but you know, there's a lot of guaranteed things, which is what a lot of people do enjoy by spending their money. Oh yeah, like those type of games, those Korean games, whew. I mean, I used to think like the Japanese were hardcore and grindy, but Korean games, my background in playing Korean games is that they are super grindy. Oh really, you're playing Genshin, okay. Yeah, Korean games are notoriously grindy. I think their reputation is the worst. I dislike PvP. It makes me mad a bit with all this meta stuff. Yeah, I know. Let's see, that's the thing, right? You have really good units, but you don't have to take them into Arena. The gains from Arena is very minimal. And I assume, Jerry, you spent some pennies on this game. So it's kind of like, there's no reason to even waste the time to do Arena if it's not something you like anyways. Actually, I never played MapleStory, so like probably a week for one material. Epic 7 grind is probably like, I'm not sure if it's worse than that. Okay, I'm having some problems here. It's weird, the program crashed. Let me see what happened here. Oh no, it just lagged. It looks like there was a lot of lag on the screen for some reason. Yeah, so like Epic 7 grind, it's like 1 week you can farm a few materials. That's kind of like how it goes. My game hasn't crashed, guys. I'm still here. It was just a little bit a lag. So it's like you can farm all week long just to get a few things done for maybe like 1 or 2 of your characters, and that's not even getting them fully maxed. One of the harder things to do for Epic 7 is the fact that you have to, in order to increase your skills, you have to get duplicate copies of the same character, which I think is insane. I think that's one of the worst systems for a gacha game, because that's clearly, you know, that's clearly trying to get some cash from us, right? It's kind of like, imagine that the only way you can increase the skill level of King Mon is to get multiple copies of King Mon. Well, actually, technically speaking, if you think about it, War of the Visions is the same thing, right? You have to get multiple copies of King Mon to get him to max level. But there's different ways to get the shards on top of just getting multiple copies. These other games, you have to get actually a full copy of that same character, which by the way, is a super low percentage in the first place, in order to increase their skills to make them become where they are. Yeah, Genshin is the same. You need 6 copies to make 1 unit legit. When I first started playing Genshin, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna re-roll for this one character. I think it was that one little, like he looks like a little boy character. I think he was an archer or something. At the time of release, everyone said he was the best unit. And then I realized, oh my god, I need 6 more copies to gain the skills. And I was like, I'm not doing that. You will have to spend thousands of dollars just to get that 1 unit, a badass. So it's kind of like, to me, it's not worth it, because it's like, if I spend money on a game, right? I spend, let's say, I don't know, $5,000. I'm only really good for a few weeks or a few months. And then as soon as like a bunch of new units comes out, if I don't drop another 1,000 or 2,000, then I'm gonna be getting slaughtered by those new units. The whole element system, whoever created this whole system of elements, skill ups, weapons, equipment, I'm telling you, man, these guys are definitely business trained. What are you doing, dude? Hey, stop it. My dog is, I don't know what he's doing. Hold on 1 second. What are you doing, puppy? Come here. Come here. Never hurt you. Hey, this is, wait. All right. So my dog is gonna be streaming. He's gonna be streaming. Hi guys. Say hi, boys. Buddy. All right. Okay, you're done. Come on. Go do your thing. That was one of my dogs. He was digging up stuff. I was trying to get him strong. So yeah, you need all these different copies, right? In order to kind of stay on top of things, you have to spend. And I don't think it's a bad idea, you know? It's not a bad idea that people are spending all this money to support these games, as long as you enjoy it for that moment, you know? You just have to, I just feel like you have to enjoy it. Yeah, I think you need to get that Warrior Light when the game returns with that soon. Raldor's pretty tanky too, and then you have Barret. Barret's coming. He's going to be a ranged. He's going to be a ranged tank, isn't he? Going to be a ranged tank? It's like in War of Visions, if they aren't featured anymore, you don't gain anything extra out of it. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not a fan of that concept. Like, there are a lot of things I know And in fact, we all know that they're doing it for that reason, to make money, right? I mean, that's kind of the idea of this product. It's a money-making engine. You know, we're not getting very good drops from these runs here. But end of the day, though, like I keep saying many times over, you just do what makes you happy, you know? Don't let the outside forces change things. I'm still debating about I'm still debating about Dark Rose, because I think I play on my computer too much, because I keep getting like this shoulder pain. Yeah, I honestly, I hope they make Barrett huge. Like, I hope they make him humongous to cover the screen. Like, I'm gonna see how he looks on screen. That's gonna determine if I want him or not, because I want him to be like bulky like he is on Final Fantasy. You know, if he's that bulky, I might consider pulling for him just to have him on my team for messing around. Like Raldor is tanky. Like, he's actually a tankier unit. He's like a tank. Well, not a tank, but more like a bruiser, right? He can deal good damage, right? But he's pretty bulky. He has a lot of defensive capabilities. That's why I liked him. That's why I pulled for him. We'll see what Barrett looks like. I think that's going to determine if a lot of people pull for Final Fantasy 7 too, because I think right now a lot of people are saving for 7. I wanted to multi last week. I just reached my office to do some weekend work. Nice. Well, technically speaking, if you think about it, I do my weekend work all the time, because I usually only work on weekends. Unfortunately, they're also the busiest time. But yeah, we're almost done here, Quack. We're just, I think I'm on the towards the end here. We'll do like a couple more runs. And then I gotta go and get ready for bed soon. Turning into an old dude now. But I gotta stay on the sleeping schedule, because next week I gotta get on it. Any dates on 7, huh? I believe it is going to be 3 or 4 months from now. So plenty of time to try to save like 100K. Because we're probably gonna need 100K to get some of those units that you want for your personal rosters. I think personally, I definitely want Tifa. I think I want Cloud for the nostalgia factor, because remember, Cloud was in Tactics as well. And then I have to choose if I care about the other 2 units, which will most likely do I care about Aerith. And I think, honestly, I don't even care if I don't max those units out. Just the fact that I have them, I think it's fine with me. You know what I mean? Like, if I get lucky, and let's say I'm pulling for one of those units and the other one comes by, I don't have to actually build them. I just need to have them on the team. Will be just kind of fun. It's actually midnight, Quack. It's at midnight. So it looks like currently Final Fantasy 7 on JP, Tifa had her own 9-step, and Cloud had his own 9-step. Meliado, yeah. What did they call her? The Islute sister or something? She was cool. Like, I loved her design. I would like to have that. What is that? Do you guys remember what that bad guy's name was? The one with the 2 assassins in Tactics? I think he had the Genshin gear or something like that. Like, you know, I had the guide. You know, we didn't rely on internet too much back in the days. But the tactics where you have to fight that one guy, and then he had the two assassins, and they had the 1 KO hits, and your job was to take a class that could steal, and you're supposed to use your thief to steal the entire outfit from that one guy. Elmdor, yes. I would like to have Elmdor. I would love to have Elmdor. He was so cool. The Vampire Arcanine, yes. He had the nice gear at that time. If you stole his entire set, you would have been set. Like, you would have been great. It would have been like, it's one of those like accomplishments you want people to have. Oh, Quack, you're back? I didn't know. Quack, I thought you quit the game. Elmdor of Linberry. Thank you, Applejacks. By the way, Applejacks was my favorite cereal growing up as a kid. You can't steal. Yeah, you can. You can steal War of Divisions. Genji armor. You only get the Genji armor in the iOS Android version. I thought you can steal off of those guys in the original PlayStation version. Do you guys remember that bug where you can dupe weapons in the PlayStation version? Did I think they fixed that bug though in the PSP version. Oh, I see. You do dailies and guild. Okay, yeah. That's kind of like where I'm leaning towards too, Quack. I'm thinking not spending too much either. But Jerry just gave me some cash. So at least I have to buy some packs with that later on though. So, and of course, any video income I'm making, I'm essentially buying packs. But to be fair, the last few months, I've been spending way more than my YouTube channel has been making. So it's kind of like me. Yeah, you can steal. You can steal in the PS1 version. I mean, you can do that dupe method. I remember I had 2 Excaliburs on my Orlando. Man, that was good time. That's why I was like, man, I wish one day they will give us dual wield for War of Visions, right? That would be sweet. I would like to see the animation of dual wielding in this game. That would be awesome. Okay, we'll do, how many runs did I say? We'll do 3 more runs. So this will be run number 1. I do wish that, like, I would prefer dual wielding as a skill over a lot of other things they can implement in War of the Visions. Oh, PlayStation, yes, but later versions gave him safeguard to prevent you from stealing Genji. That sucks, man. Well, I'm glad I don't play any of the other versions then. The only other version I ever played of Tactics was my PSP. War of the Lions, that was good. God, like every time I hear the Tactics music soundtrack, it brings back so much memory. Yes, my mom used to buy Frosted Flakes all the time. Like my mom, for some weird reason, she would buy a lot of Frosted Flakes and Pops. Like those are her go-to cereal that she would buy us. But I loved Fruity Pebbles. But mom will never buy it because she keeps saying there's so many colors on them. She wouldn't buy them. And sometimes she will buy Apple Jacks. Like honestly, like once I get down to like 165, maybe 170 pounds, and I get a lot leaner, you guys are probably gonna see me, like see my face. You're gonna see the face transition. I'm thinking next year you guys probably see my face, the transition of my chunky face to a lot skinnier looking face. I will definitely probably like start buying those cereal that I used to love, and like just eat a little bit once in a while just to get that, you know, that craving, that indulge, you know, because cereal is not really good for you, right? Unless you eat like the whole grain stuff, obviously. But you know, this is essentially just sugar. And I stopped drinking milk too, so I only buy like oat milk, oats milk. So it's a little bit healthier or whatever. But I would love to just do that every so often. Just have a bowl of cereal, turn on some Tubby, or however you want to pronounce that website, and they have all these free series that you can watch from the 1980s and 90s. Maybe I'll wake up like at 6 a.m. like I used to as a little kid, and then watch Tubby on my TV and eat some big bowls of cereal, man. That was the good old days. I never had almond milk. Like, I used to buy soy milk a lot, but soy milk is not good for you, like for guys, really, over long term. So I switched to oat milk. Okay, Quack. I'm glad that you're still playing the game, but yeah, take care, buddy. Yeah, Dark Knight. Yeah, I remember Dark Knight. I just hope one day they will give us dual wielding, though. Dual wielding, just... One, honestly, is going to look really cool. Two, I think they can do more damage, but obviously your guy's going to be like paper thin. And with so many guaranteed hits, you know, with evasion and everything, giving somebody like Venera dual weapons, I mean, what are you harming in the game, right? Not much. It's not like you're gonna make everybody, you know, have insane, like, crazy damage accounts or anything like that. It's just gonna be like just for fun. Yeah, Cheerios are good. Like, Cheerios are really good. I eat a lot of oatmeal. That is my go-to breakfast. I eat oatmeal and eggs with hot sauce. That's like that is my go-to meal. Like, lately I bought some 1,000-year eggs. Some of you guys know this. Some of you guys probably don't, but those really dark-looking eggs. They don't smell too good, but man, they taste so good. So usually I eat oatmeal in the morning with 1 or 2 eggs, whole eggs. I hard boil them, but I have maybe runny yolk, and then I put some hot sauce on it. Man, I eat that down so fast. And then later in the meals, I usually eat just like lean protein with some vegetables, and that's pretty much it. But I made a big pot of curry, so I've been kind of indulging on that lately. But I don't eat a whole lot. Yeah, no, not the tea eggs. The tea eggs are a different thing. I love tea eggs, but these are the 1,000-year eggs. So they used to do them in lye, but now they do them. I think they do them with something else to create that fermented effect, or maybe they still use lye. What did they used to use? I think they used to use something that had lead in it, and that was really bad. For some reason, the screen is really laggy. It's like the game is not crashing, but the what do you call it? The screen is having a lag. I'm betting it's because of the internet, maybe. So don't fret, guys. The game is just laggy. Yeah. I eat a lot of tea eggs though. When I was in Taiwan, one of the go-to meals for me was Taiwanese sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness, those things were so good. And they bake them. Well, I guess they don't bake them, they grill them. They grill them right on top of these like rocks. So anytime you grill sweet potatoes, it gets very caramelized. And the inside is very, very sweet. And the Taiwanese sweet potatoes is yellow. And I swear it has probably more sugar content than your typical yams that we eat in the United States. It's so freaking amazing. Like, it's so good. Yeah, I think this is the last run. So this will be the last run. Yeah, we're almost done. It's not mirroring properly because it's probably lagging a little bit behind. So my go-to meal was, I go to 7-Eleven or I go to one of those convenience stores, and I will pick up 2 tea eggs, and I will eat 1 sweet potato. So that covers my good starch, my fiber, and my protein. Oh man, I tell you, I miss Taiwan so much. Like, I think once the world opens back up, I will definitely go back to Japan. I think I would like to meet Cabbage. I would like to, like, hey Cabbage, let's do a collaboration, and maybe we can like summon together or something, you know. And so yeah, I would definitely like to go to Japan. And now I definitely want to go back to Taiwan. I just miss the food so much. You guys don't understand it. Like, traveling was all about eating. And I think at that point I can start doing some vlogs, so I can upload it to the channel so you guys can enjoy it as well. In fact, I'll probably start uploading some of my older pictures, because I just uploaded some of those pictures on my from my old phone, like my old phone here that I'm using. I uploaded all my pictures onto my computer, so I'll probably start doing that. I'll probably like maybe do like just a normal video for those of you guys who care about like different things, and I'll show you guys some of my pictures of what I did in Japan. I think that's, yeah. Seriously, like, if any country you're to pick in the Asian continent, I would think Japan. I don't think they contain more sugar because the grilling just breaks down the carbs into sugars, so it tastes sweeter. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, because I think that's one of the dishes they cook in China, is like they cut the sweet potatoes and they just kind of bake them, and when you bake the sweet potatoes, it makes the sugar taste sweeter because it breaks it down, right? It breaks down all the carbs into I guess you could say it. I don't want to sound stupid here on the internet, but it breaks down the carbs into smaller components of carbohydrates, right? So I'm guessing what's the lowest would be what, glucose? It's not sucrose, right? It would be glucose. So it'll be breaking down into like glucose. So it'll be tasting really, really sweet. But anyways, yeah, I have a bunch of pictures. I want to show you guys the pictures of me doing go-karting. That was awesome. Driving down the streets of downtown Tokyo in go-karts was both probably the scariest thing I ever done in my life and the most exhilarating thing I ever done in my life. So I want to show you guys some pictures of that, and then maybe some pictures of the food that I had. Yeah. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to go back to those places. Good times. Life can be very good if you can travel to those countries. Japan is definitely, I guess Tokyo really is definitely the mecca of anime and video games and things like that. Alright, unfortunately this last run didn't give me any more. This seems like very low drops for this. And my phone is dying anyway. So, alright guys, I want to thank you guys for coming to the stream. I think the first part of Friday Free Thinking, for those of you guys who have made it this far, definitely just watch the first part for the Friday Free Thinking part, and then of course the last hour is really just me hanging out with the folks of World Visions community. So I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I appreciate the support, of course, and of course I will try to make as many videos as I can, even with the part-time status I'm doing. But like I said, a lot of that would change if I decide to take on new games, and of course if you guys are all on board, because I think as gamers we just love games in general, right? You don't have to like the game that I'm playing, but you might just enjoy watching someone else play a different game, and maybe you guys will come play some Diablo with me too when that game finally gets released. and I can't wait for that game. And then if you guys have any other suggestions in terms of games that you want to see me play or something, just feel free to drop me a note anytime. Alright, until next time, take care of yourself, all your loved ones. Nashtaters and his family out here. Take care. Have a great weekend, everybody.